Hello traders, Joseph here again. Thank you so much for joining me on another edition of my weekly video. So before I actually go into the charts to show you guys the trade setups that I'm going to be watching, I've actually got some exciting news for those of you who are trying to have like a solid trading plan as we head into the new year in the Forex market. So before I actually tell you what that news is, I'm going to sort of address the sort of expectation that people come into trading with, especially new traders. There's nothing wrong with expectation, but the problem is how you actually stumble upon that kind of information. And that usually comes in the form of a TV advert or an internet advert where you see something like how to make $1,000, in a day just trading the Forex market, or if someone tells you that you can be a millionaire from just trading the Forex market. And the funny thing is they're not lying to you, but what they never tell you is the sort of numbers behind those sort of statistics. And by that I mean, things like, what's the initial capital, initial investments that you need in order to make those sort of returns? What are you going to be risking? What percentage of your account are you going to be risking on every single trade? And what's the realistic percentage of potential profit returns that you can expect on a weekly, monthly, or even a yearly basis? And even if you know all this information, you still need to have a strategy that has been back tested, can be repeated, tested, and verified. So you can see there's a lot of information. It's not as simple as just opening up a trading account after hearing all this information, after hearing all this, dream sellers on the internet. And you expect to make £1,000 from just a £200 account. It simply doesn't work that way. And there's also some traders that are struggling to make it. Actually, a lot of traders are struggling to make it. And the problem with that, I find, is because most traders don't actually take their time to to master a particular strategy. And even though some traders have done that, I find the problem to be, some traders try to jump ship when the going gets tough. So when they have like a few losing streaks, they're trying to change their method, they're trying to change their strategy, not knowing that, there's no strategy in the Forex market that's going to work 100% of the time. Every strategy is going to have a drawdown. Every strategy is going to have a losing streak. All you have to do, as long as you have a strategy that has been back tested, then you're going to be able to develop a money management strategy, to sort of overcome that. And of course, it's easier said than done. So basically, onto the news that I'm going to be telling you, I told you about at the start. It's let me go over to my website. I've actually remodeled my website, and I've added 3 sections, which is going to help a lot of traders. So these sections, the first one is called the free daily trade signals. I don't really like the word that signal, because what I usually do is not really signals. So basically, clicking on this link is going to take you to my trading view page, where you're going to see every single trade that I've been posting, or every single trade that I'm going to be posting on a daily basis. So what it does is that if you click on that link, this is what's going to come up. It's my trading view page, where you're going to see all the trades. Just give you a minute. Yeah, so all the trades I've been posting. As you can see, every time I post a trade, it's gonna have the whole strategy on the chart. So you can see where I get in, where I get out, and where I put my stop loss, and you can see the kind of strategy that I'm trading. And with me, if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I usually trade just advanced patterns and structure. I like to keep it simple. There's no point, going over, trying different things. This is me. This is my trading. This is my identity when it comes to trading. Even the advanced pattern, I only stick to 3: the bat pattern, the cipher pattern, and the Gartley pattern, and then structure. This is what you're gonna see on a daily basis. So clicking on that link is gonna take you to that place. If that's something you like, if you're watching this video for the first time and you're not following me on trading view, all you have to do is just go on my page and click the follow button. And every time I post a trade, you're gonna get an email notification, to show you exactly what I'm doing. So the next section is actually called Learn My Strategy. I've actually started a few videos on trying to teach you guys how I trade every one of the strategy that I use, the strategy that you see on the trading view page. So I'm actually still in the process. I've done the Gartley pattern video, and I think I'm going to do the bat pattern next, and that should be on the side within the next 2 days. So the last section is actually called Get Your Account Managed. And now I find out that there's a lot of people that want to trade, or a lot of people that want to get involved in trading, but they don't really have the time to trade. So all you have to do in this section, if you click on that section, is going to, let you send me an email. So if you do that, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to find out all the necessary information, and then I'm going to break down all the numbers, the necessary numbers that you can expect. And what that means is the kind of returns that you can expect to be getting, and things like that. So if that's something you're interested, just drop me an email. And down here is just basically the weekly video. So if you're interested in getting that, if you're not yet on my email list, all you have to do is just subscribe, put down your email, and it's not going to cost you anything. So let's go over to the chart and I'll show you guys what I'm watching. I've actually got 2 currency pairs. I'm actually going to show you guys a few interesting trading setups. The first one is the pound against the US dollar. And the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go over to the daily chart, and I'm going to draw a simple trend line resistance just from that point, and then I'm going to drop this down to the 4-hour chart and show you guys. We've actually got two advanced patterns there. One of them was just completed. It's the cipher pattern. So if I go ahead from swing high to swing low, we got the X to A leg at the 318 retracement, 382 retracement right there. So to get our entry point, so let me bring in the triangle. We got the X to A leg, A to B, B to C, and C to D. It's going to complete at the 786 retracement. So as we can see, the market has already gone up and nearly touched, I should say, and it's actually within just a few pips, 27 pips from getting filled. So basically, this is the first trading setup that I'm going to be watching. We see an advanced pattern that's completing the right way that trend line resistance is, and looking left, we've actually got a bit of structure. It's not a lot of structure, but we've got a bit of support right there, and another structure right there. So basically we can see that the market is bearish. So for this pattern to be invalidated, it has to close above that previous structure high, and that's where our stop loss is going to be. So the next pattern is actually another bearish pattern, but it is a bad pattern. So let me bring in my Fibonacci rotation: swing low to swing high to swing low. Excuse me. We got the retracement coming in at the 50% retracement. We didn't quite get the 618 retracement, so it is a bad pattern. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw the pattern for you guys. X to A leg, and I'm gonna change this color to pink. And for the entry point of the bad pattern, it's gonna be at the 886 retracement of the X to A leg. So the bad pattern is gonna complete just a little bit above the cipher pattern. But whatever happens, there is a chance that we can get both of these orders filled. And if we are going to get the bad pattern, then I expect this market to spike up and then drop down if it's going to respect this trend line resistance. I mean, from what I can see, there's more chance of us getting filled in the cipher pattern and then rolling back down. But then again, anything can happen, because if you remember my videos, my weekly video a couple weeks ago, where I talked about the US dollar against the Japanese yen, where we had 2 patterns that were setting up at the same, one was a garlic pattern, the other was a cipher pattern, and we ended up taking both trades, and we ended up making profits on both trades. So there is a chance that could happen on this, but we're going to be watching the cipher pattern first. And let me bring in my RSI and see if we got any overbought conditions. Well, not yet, but the market is nearly there. It's almost there. So if we can get a spike up high, and we get this market coming into an overbought conditions, it's going to be a very good chance, to take the trade. So the next thing I'm going to be watching, and obviously just to know that your stop loss is going to have to go above this previous structure high. So it's going to have to go somewhere above 153.40. That's where your stop loss is going to be. If you're going to know how I'm going to be trading this, in terms of where I'm going to be placing my stop loss and where I'm going to be placing my targets, then all you have to do is just keep an eye on my post on TradingView. And to do that, you have to be following me to get the my post on how I'm going to be trading these patterns. So the next thing I'm going to flip over to the US dollar against the Swiss franc. And on this trade, we haven't actually got an advanced pattern, but we've got a trend continuation, or a break and a retest strategy, if you would like to call it that. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to draw up just a little, like a red box right there, and show you guys what the market has done previously. Well, basically the market had formed a little bit of resistance right there, where we struggled to break through on 1, 2, 3 occasions, but the fourth time the market just went straight through it. We had a first retest. I mean, that's the logic, that every time the market breaks an important structure, it usually comes back to retest that structure. That's the language of the market. The market is just all about structure. You got to be able to read those structures. So we had a first test here. We didn't actually test that area. Now the market has come back into the area. So our first case for entry on this pair is the fact that we expect this resistance now to act as a support, for this market. So, but that's not the only reason why we should be taking this trade. We need to find a lot of reasons, in order to get involved in this trade. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Fibonacci ratio and see if we got any Fibonacci ratio that falls within that structure. And there we go, guys. We can see the 618 retracement coming right at that structure. So now we've got 2 reasons to enter this trade. Well, let's go and see if we can do one better. I'm going to bring in my RSI. I've brought in my RSI, and we can see on the RSI, guys, straight away that we've got a bullish divergence on the RSI. So we've got 3 very good reasons in order to be long on this pair. We've got the market coming back into structure. We've got the 618 retracement, and we've got a bullish divergence on our RSI that has just gone oversold. So these are all good reasons. So if we do get involved in this trade, and this is one of the trades I will be taking once the market opens, if it opens anywhere within this price. So the first thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be looking at my targets, and it's going to be at previous structure high. That's where I'm going to be taking my first target on this trade. And because it's a trend continuation, it is a structure trade, and this is how I usually trade my structure. I only usually take just one target. Back at the previous structure, stop loss is going to have to go below this previous low. So let me change that to red. So this is where my stop loss is going to go. So as you can see, guys, I already have a risk to reward ratio of at least 1 to 1. And you're going to hear me say this time and time again. That's the most important thing. 1.3 to 1. As you have a risk to reward ratio of at least 1 to 1 on every one of your trades, all you have to do is just win 50% of your trades, and you're going to generate consistent profit returns. So this is it, guys. This is the 2 trades that I'm going to work with. We got 2 advanced pattern forming on the pound dollar, and we've got a trend continuation trade, or a break and a retest strategy on the dollar Swissy. So this is what I'm going to be watching as we head into the week. So that's it for today, guys. If you're watching this video for the first time, and you like what you see and you want to get involved, all you have to do is just click on one of the links below this video. That's going to take you straight to my website, where you can sign up to get on my email list. Or if you want to see the kind of tradings that I do every day, in terms of the positions or the strategy that I'm trading every day, all you have to do is go click on the other link. That's going to take you to my trading view page, where you can see my post, and all you have to do there, guys, is follow me, and then every time I trade, you're gonna get this an email notification in your phone or something like that. And so that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like it, leave a comment, share it, do anything that helps, really. And until next time, keep it simple, guys. Don't complicate things. Trading is a simple but smart business, I would say. So yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.